win today, and Motion has to be playing quite well himself.
I'm sure Motion's going to be able to stand up to the task. It wasn't long ago that he was playing on the Chiefs, only a couple of months out of the top of the scene. So, you know, he might have a pretty good day here today and carry VERTEX over the line. We'll see how that pans out. Having already lost PZ, though, on the T side is not the start to the series that they would have wanted.
No, definitely not. Order very unafraid of taking duels over towards middle. Ricky just peeking again and again. Trying to bait the T's, if anything, into Gyra, who's been raid bossed with the CZ up close here. Oh, I think that he's about to get his bait perfectly in there. Lovely close angle with that CZ, exactly where you want to be losing it and using it rather. And VERTEX now 3-on-5 with no real map control to speak of. I'm getting concerned.
They're really just putting all their eggs in the one basket, and that is this fight through the mid doors. You've got Apoc kind of just probing through mid, and the other couple of players just making sure that he's not going to get flanked or anything. Nice shots from Valiant, keeps Gyra alive. He's going to be thanking his lucky stars for that one. And now he kind of has to repay the favor because Valiant has lost his life. Motion is the only one so far to find a kill for VERTEX, so at least he's being able to put the numbers up. We'll start to work his way toward the A-bomb side, but he doesn't possess control of the bomb here, Pilski, so his chances and opportunities are quite limited. We'll look for that upgrade to the USP, but Ricky puts a stop to the shenanigans pretty quickly. 1-0. Off to a decent start, Order.
Honestly surprised we didn't see Gyra going into the dualies there, as they've had that price adjustment. You can get yourself a little bit of extra utility if you're going to go raid boss something. Not only does it give, obviously, the player who's throwing a little bit of... My brain's breaking. Why is my brain breaking? Throwing the pistol over to the raid boss player can obviously pick up some extra grenades at that point. Either way, though, VERTEX are force buying second round. Apoc Dud continuing some great form. He's going to pick off that player who pushed lower dark. This is obviously one of the biggest changes at the moment. The ability for CTs to regress through the actual mid doors rather than going through catwalk due to the fact that they can cross safely and push and things like that. So that's what VERTEX has gone for in the anti-eco. We're going to chuck PZ a couple of grenades here, and it does seem like we're going to be heading towards a late long take with the 5-on-4 advantage for VERTEX.
Now, you often see that happening if you've been tuning into VERTEX's matches. It's always PZ that's being given the grenades.
Well, I mean, we saw Renegades do the same with Alistair before. You know, he had the AWP, he wanted to send the riflers in. They dropped him a couple of grenades.
Well, so far, no grenades utilized by VERTEX as they just make a slow walkout onto long happen. It hasn't really gone the way that they would have liked, but now those flashes starting to come through, putting Ustillo under a bit of pressure. He'll answer the call quite nicely, though, and eventually finishes off a couple. Won't quite be able to get back around the corner in time, and Apoc Dud catches Valiant on the rotate. So now it's just Ricky left alive in a 1-on-2 with a Famas to play with, Pilski, and what I would say amounts to a pretty awkward duel for him here at this range.
Yeah, you do have that smoke and the flash for PZ to be able to allow him cross to that A site, and he's going to invest at Ricky, creeping up the ramp. Apoc Dud should have this covered off, but he might have just threaded the needle on the perfect timing here.
Oh, Ricky creeps up ramp, has been spotted by PZ, who will not have the chance for a shot, and Ricky wins the 2 kills for his team and the round as well, of course. That is exactly what Ricky wants to be doing. And to be honest, as you say, I feel like he just threaded the needle. There wasn't really much of an opportunity there, but somehow he found that perfect timing.
Yep. Had my money on Apoc Dud having the cross there. He seemed like he was pretty switched on that round. He read the rotation off the B site well. He punished that lower dark push. Really, it's Apoc Dud who does such a great job of setting VERTEX up for success there. But unfortunately, in the critical juncture where he has to have that ramp push covered, he doesn't quite have vision over there. Choosing to go the long way around. VERTEX going for this buy once again, as you have seen the CTs kind of struggling for money in this regard. Haven't really been able to build that up with how close that last round was. So VERTEX going to go for the hard reset if they can get it.
Addict and Ustillo. Just playing a dangerous game, and it'll be Ustillo that gets the better of him. Addict couldn't quite see Ustillo just being a little bit closer to those doors, and in the end, Ustillo gets the advantage for Order. Looks like VERTEX wants to try avenge that over on the B bomb site, and they've done a reasonable job of it. Getting one. Valiance, however, holding strong with the FAMAS. Didn't expect that many kills from him with that weapon, but he's gotten it done. And now PZ is left on 1 HP. The grenade will put an end to his life and an end to the round for Vertex as well. Order making it happen pretty comfortably so far.
Yeah, nicely done. That's what Valiance was picked up for, in a way, in towards this Order team. He has been such a reliable CT side anchor. I've said it in many casts before, but that's really where he gets a lot of his great work done, is that CT side anchoring, and also being that middle of the pack player on the T side and clutching out a lot of these rounds is where I remember a lot of his highlights from. So it's good to see him keep up that form in arguably the most important tournament here for Order as we head towards the tail end of this year. Vertex now going in for this half buy. They want to try to inflict some economic damage if they can as they move in towards that buy in round number 5.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose they've been keeping Order relatively honest. That last round maybe not one to speak to in that discussion, but the second round was quite close indeed, down to Ricky with only a FAMAS, and I don't see the CT economy having fully recovered from that just yet. They need another round under their belt with a lot of guns alive to start to feel a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, you're seeing that regroup back towards tunnels here. Brace is the main man that I'm keeping my eye on with that utility, but he's actually over towards long, so that indicates to me that he's going to be looking to throw that jump throw mid to B smoke, perhaps. And then maybe send a flash into long or a flash through mid doors and try to kick off that mid to B. There's the jump throw smoke from outside long. See the retake flash from Order for Vexside to try and get some info. Hasn't seen anybody, and Vertex start to creep out tunnels.
Yeah, Valiance has spotted that out pretty quickly, and he did look pretty sharp this evening, but not much you can do with a deagle bullet in your head. Still, Vexside across on the rotate will ensure that there is nothing really too untoward going on. Apoc Dud and Brace have a nice crossfire established. Timing wasn't so great for Apoc Dud, but he still doubles down.
Oh.
And it still costs Order a lot of guns. So it
sure.
could have been a round that ended in a more favorable fashion for the CT side than what it did.
Yeah, talk about keeping them honest. That's a great couple of kills. Deagle spam is not dead, boys. No one panic. Apoc Dud not aiming for the head at all there. At least it took him an extra bullet to kill Ustilo, though, instead of just those, you know, shotgun style deaglings that we've been seeing for the last however long I can remember, of just 2 bullets being needed to kill. Yeah.
Tries to pick the pace up a little bit, and that almost works out, but for some fancy footwork from Ustilo, eventually he'll find his man. And Valiance is going to try and lock down the fort on long. He has got a lot of work to do, and there is a bit of a rotate coming through from Vexside if need be, but overall, very nice trade, very nice attempt from Addict, and he gets the 2 for 1, so he's done his job.
Yeah, Ricky's pushed uppers in the meanwhile. That Molotov, though, going to push Valiance out of position. Vexside, you were talking about him being on the rotate, but he needs to come and help Valiance out if he can. He's got a whole belt of utility to try to set him up and make sure that Valiance just won't die for nothing. And Vertex, you can see they're very keen on just isolating this player towards cars. So it's really up to Vexside with that utility and also with this crossfire position to make sure that Valiance just doesn't go down for free.
Well, Vertex would do well to check Valiance's position. They know that he smoked himself off at one point when that Molotov came down, so they should know he's there. Good flash comes through, but Valiance will still win the duel against Brace. Also low HP. Can he get another, though? That would have been big if Valiance would have been able to do so, but not the case this time. Smokes are starting to come down, and now Vexside, the little master for Order, kind of needs to make the play here, doesn't he? 3 on 2. And Ricky's starting to work his way up short. Maybe Vexside can just try and play this one slow, with Ricky being the one to find the opening pick with that AWP.
They're looking to try to find a pick onto one of these Ts. You're absolutely right. 2 nades being dropped over. There was a nade left in CT spawn, and he's been able to get a kill with them. That's a perfect example of this update having massive impact here. PZ put into the 1-on-2, and he's going to connect on the first.
Well, Ricky knows now where he is. We'll pop the flash down just to obscure the vision a little bit, and even drops down into CT as well. Ricky wasn't quite expecting that, but PZ? What? What has he just done? He's bamboozled Ricky's bamboozled me. And he's won the first round for Vertex.
He's hit it with the circle jump treatment. You absolutely love to see it. Great entries on the opening part of the round for Addict there. And PZ, once again, showing us why you set this man up, why Vertex has so much structure, and why you want to put this Orpe in a post-plant situation, because he will win it for you.
Would have loved to have seen what that was like from Ricky's perspective. I'm surprised PZ even knew that he had dropped down. You know, obviously the flash there would have masked the drop, but PZ...
Well, we don't hear everything. You might have seen the circle jump, and then Ricky might have scoped up.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Ricky, he always makes good use of the Zeus. What is going on? It's a mess.
And just the Zeus that's getting put to good use right now. Gyro will swing for another kill. It's 2-on-2. Guns are irretrievable for Order, but they've gotten this one a little bit too close for comfort. Deagle in the hands of Vexite can always be dangerous. And he's trying to creep onto the line, see if he can find the timing here. There's 1 or 2 shots, but neither connecting. And so he'll have to swing away to safety.
Yeah, Vertex really trying to guard those guns. They're going to start to make their way towards this long position. They do have bow smokes for the cross, but actually up against the pistols, no need to really go for that. They're just going to swing across. They want to try to use the range of those AKs. Meanwhile, Order's called the audible. They're going to try to move over towards long and try to retrieve some of these guns if they can. And with these 2 players, they can check some of the common positions you'd be discarding those guns, like on top of the boxes here towards long or on top of blue container. A little picked up for Valiance, gives him a bit more range.
Ticking away ever so quickly, and that time is starting to run out for Order, who do not have defuse kits to play with. Valiant eventually he's going to have to do the dirty work. Vexite wasn't connecting anything with that Deagle to tap the bomb. And he'll draw the peak from PZ. It won't quite go the way of Order, but it's still a lucrative round for them, having taken 4 guns away from Vertex, resetting the money on quite a few of those players. I mean, look at Addict, look at Apoc Dud at this point in time. Yes, there's going to be enough there for Vertex as a whole to get the buy through in this round, but it certainly doesn't help them elevate their status in this first half.
Yep, that's big impact from Ricky. You see him buy that Zeus so often, almost every eco, and that time definitely a good case for why it's so effective. Progression smoke here for Order, trying to take long control, and they have been able to do so successfully. Here's the standoff. Aggression for Vexite. He's out on an island here in towards Lower Dark, and Vertex either aware that he is there or just being very patient as that initial long pick hasn't worked out for them. They start to regroup back towards that big side of the map. Hold on, Vexite might have just found the perfect timing here.
Well, he's going to have a couple of players headed in his direction. A1S in hand, gets the better of Brace and Addict as well. That's exactly what Vexite would have liked. He'll pop the smoke back down before he jumps out to safety. And that is about as perfect as it's going to get for Order until Ricky loses his head to Apoc Dud. But masterstroke really from Vexite.
Absolutely. Brace had no head armor as a result of the kills that came in last round. He didn't want to go down to a Galil, I don't think. So the A1 just puts him to bed immediately. Now Vertex trying to recover this 3-on-2. You have Apoc Dud searching in towards middle, trying to apply pressure to Catwalk to pull that rotator off B so PZ can punish.
It's a bit of a interesting angle from Valiance. I wonder if it's going to be checked properly by Vertex. PZ, yeah, not quite. And motion goes down as well. Perfect stuff from Valiance. Vexite eventually does lose his life, but overall numbers is well and truly there for Order, and there's not really any time for Apoc Dud. He couldn't go through that Molotov even if he wanted to. So the round is over.
Yeah, Apoc Dud, he did a good job pulling the rotates. And again, we're seeing him have another great map here on T-side of Dust2 so far. Again, though, something we talked about. Valiance, just so positionally sound, such a great anchor on the CT side. If he goes down there, actually the rotates that Apoc Dud pulls by taking that catwalk control ends up being a massive deal. But bit of an off angle for the man. He's able to hold on, he's able to double up and effectively not just win Order that round, but, you know, kind of get them out of a bad situation. They were 4-on-3, you know, they had the numbers advantage, but there was definitely an out there for VERTEX that if they find that pick to beat, that could have been very bad for Order.
Oh, Vexite, he's done it again, although this time with the assistance of Gyra, who is going to pick up all the frags. He's just watching that P250, or even the Glock, I suppose. The P250's gone over to the other lads. Been able to put in a bit of work. Vexite might have a rude awakening here because PC's found himself an M4A1S. But eventually he'll lose his life. A spam through the doors from Valiance through the smoke as well. PZ not going to be too happy with that, but overall you'd be relatively pleased with how this round is progressing so far. And maybe Motion can pull off the unthinkable. Gets Valiance down to 14 HP, and he's certainly got time to work with here.
Oh, it's just such a derpy exchange. It's clear Motion. A little bit clumsy on the mechanics right now. But even just taking one more gun would make a bit of a difference. And sitting inside the smoke, in theory, he does have 2 1v1 duels that he can try to isolate. Ricky's not watching the cross here. This could be Motion. Oh, that is a timing and a half. Hold on. Ricky's watching ramp, though. Has he spotted his feet? Valiance is turning around.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe. Valiance certainly keeping an eye on things. I'd say there's information that's been given across, and Valiance switched on. Yeah, there might have been just a half second there timing for Ricky. You can see he was really trying to pick the pace up with the USP through CT spawn as well.
All right. 6-2 here. VERTEX. Both of the rounds that they have picked up have been on the back of putting PC into a post plant and him converting. Apoc Dart's been doing a pretty good job of just applying pressure, creating a lot of space and finding some openers. You saw that one nice 2K in from Adams. Again, he's being sent out long, but he's just going to get ended by Valiance, who he's 14-5 in 9 rounds.
You won't be complaining about that.
Look at this as well. Double aggression, straight up mid. Hasn't been read. PZ scoped in. Hasn't seen a single thing. Dare say Apoc Dart's dead to rights here in towards long.
Surely this is a knife angle for you, Stillo. Oh, he's not going to go for it. I mean, I guess that's fair enough. The half's not that far gone just yet. Nice little tag from Valiance onto Brace. Not enough, obviously, to get the kill, but continues to swing the round in the favor of Order. And Vexite gets another kill through the smoke. Those mid-door fights haven't been too good for VERTEX, unfortunately, today. A lot of the time they're getting killed through the smoke.
Nothing's going right in this round for VERTEX. PZ's going to try to dig deep and make something happen. But he's still out. 3K for him in the round. 5 alive for Order. That is basically their CT economy starting to build up quite a lot. Now they're heading into an... Well, we'll see what VERTEX ends up going for here. I dare say it's going to be a half bite, and indeed it will. So chance for damage, but if Order can clean this one out pretty convincingly, then they're looking great. They're already up 7-2, which on the CT side is already a passable scoreline, and they've got plenty more play left.
That gun in his hand because there's a rush coming in his direction. The flash did catch him. He was at least able to go 1-for-1, which is not too bad. Order send Vexite out to do the dirty work. But he also was only able to grab a 1-for-1. So at the moment, VERTEX is finding their opportunities, taking advantage of all of them.
Yeah,
getting into the A side is difficult.
It's another rifle on the ground there, which Brace is able to pick up. And Apoc Dart's on the lurk in towards middle. Oh, that's almost the timing.
Well, Ricky, able to get the better of Brace, does get put down to 11 HP and has to watch behind him now as well. The push through the smoke from Apoc Dart could find another kill here for VERTEX. This is a critical fight, and Apoc Dart is just biding his time while Ricky tucks himself in the corner, waiting for Valiance to come and rescue him. And that is exactly what ends up happening. Time, however, now is a factor. Motion out in the middle of nowhere, somehow still alive. Order have to go scrambling for a few grenades. They're really running out of time. They're going to have to send it. The flash is coming through. Trade definitely on offer here, but Motion is playing this perfectly, biding the time. Ricky gets it done with a no-scope. And he just about has enough time for the defuse there as well. That was as close as it could have gotten. But Order still find a way to win the round.
Running no scope. I don't know if they were low on time, but you saw the CTs take a momentary pause and turn around. I thought they were considering the save, and then someone said, nah.
I think they were finding extra util. I think that's what that was. But yeah, I thought they were going to save too.
All right. Well, that was very close on the half buy. Good damage for VERTEX. That actually keeps the window for them to economically reset Order open a little bit more. Again, this long fight, Addict's being sent out, and he's going to convert onto Vexite. Hiding inside the smoke. The Flasher's trying to set him up for more success, and he's going to find it as well. He's just cleaning out all of long. It seems like Addict today, he either kills everyone or he dies instantly. And that is another one of those rounds where he's effectively won it for VERTEX. Motion's got uppers covered as well, holding down that extremity. At VERTEX, that is no small round to be performing in. Looking at Order's money, it's quite fragile, Jordan. This could be a bit of a swing in terms of rounds.
Yeah, certainly. It sort of felt like it's been on that teetering point for a little while. A lot of these rounds have been quite close. Just we've seen that 10% extra from Order that gets them over the line. A lot of X Factor kind of situations. Obviously, the one with, Ricky hitting the no-scope is a great example of it. But now VERTEX finally get one over the line. They finally break the economy of Order. And they can start to build this T-half and make it something that, is probably better than what it has been so far. I think there's definitely a lot more on offer than what we've seen from VERTEX. I don't know that 8-3 is representative of exactly how close a lot of these rounds have ended up being. It looks, on paper, very one-sided, favoring Order, but I don't know that that's exactly where we'd be sitting.
Well, the gap's about to close a little. Jara doing some gymnastics at top mid there. Very cool. Don't know how much damage Order are really going to be able to get done with just USPs, is what we said earlier. Then we had that ridiculous round towards long.
Oh no.
Does that count for a check?
How many can Usilo get though? Just the one. It was a bit of an awkward angle for him in the P250. Sometimes giveth and sometimes taketh away. Vexite finding that out as well. A few headshots coming through from him. Not enough to finish off all of the VERTEX players. I almost wonder if Ricky would have preferred to use it there, just because, it's a little bit more reliable at range than the P250 is.
Vexite, I mean.
Well, anyone,
the guy on
really.
site.
Yeah, Vexite. Like, even here,
Did you see that half check from Apoc Dart? He just his player model swivels around, but he doesn't actually really check pit.
Easy to miss things. Anyway, VERTEX get through it relatively okay.
That's like me when I'm doing the house chores, Just do the main part. Don't really check the actual edges. Oh my god. Nice pick for PC. VERTEX. It's feeling like it's coming together. The money's looking great. Opening pick. No underarm door smoke is a bit of a oversight there for VERTEX as they lose the opening man advantage. Please don't throw fights towards this double doors. It has not been working out for you this game.
No, certainly not. And they will wisely back away. Jira's on the push out through bedroom. He's not decided to go too far just yet. But PZ's watching and waiting. Bomb's headed in this direction as well.
Yeah, here's the flash from Brace.
Oh, there's the tag as well. They knew Pilski.
Yeah, that's great from VERTEX. That's just absolutely textbook why VERTEX is such a good team. Those kind of plays where they've kept the players on the edges of the map. They're running the proper default. They're gathering the info, and then they do the exactly correct play to try to capitalize on that. And you got players like Vexite.
He's crept so far up behind this smoke, and it's going to fade favorably for him. He gets PZ! They almost all three lined up for him. Vexite still makes the big play, still gets the 2 kills that Order needed to get back into this round. And Valiance catches motion in mid. It falls apart so quickly for VERTEX. Brace is going to send it into mid. Valiance has all the information that he needs, but he doesn't manage to land the shots. Brace survives on 20 HP. They look to try and get into the B bomb side. It's really going to have to hightail it, and Ricky will have one chance on this cross to hit even a shot through the door to kill him. Hasn't been able to do so.
No kit here for Ricky. Brace does have a Molotov to delay. Oh, Ricky on the timing through the door, creaks out, finds Brace at Heaton. And it's a pretty straightforward clutch. Ricky not giving Brace any room to reposition. There's no nuance there. Really just is Ricky's confidently gone straight through the doors, checked the high percentage position based on where it was planted. And he's been rewarded for it.
9-4. It's still an expensive round for Order, so reinvestment coming through isn't going to look as fancy as they might like.
For sure.
Already a Famous for Valiance and for Gyra. There was an AWP and an M4, I think, in hand for the other two, so that's okay. Not ideal. So Vertex can still salvage to 9-6.
Yeah, exactly. Could be rewarded an easier gun round for bringing it down to one player alive based on the Famouses. Win a couple of duels there. Order invests a lot of utility in taking long, and they have gained it. 2 Molotovs, 2 smokes. Pop flash out middle here for Vertex. Return flash from the B side. He's going to set their side out on the line. He drops a nade, but a 1-for-1 in the middle of the map right there is actually pretty good for Vertex. Unfortunately, that's where Valiance just takes initiative. He's having a fantastic CT half here. Ricky's pushed upper as well. He's got a pick. PZ now feels pressure to just run through the doors. And that's the round, Jordan. I mean, that was chaotic. Just everybody taking duels, taking initiative, making individualistic plays. But I think it's pretty safe to say that Order are winning a lot more of those kind of situations at the moment.
Yeah, a bit too chaotic for my liking. Couldn't tell what was going on half the time, but Order get it done with 4 guns alive, and that obviously ensures that they get a really nice buy-through for the final round of the half and make the mountain to climb for Vertex even taller. Double digits secured in the first half of Dust 2, and they might be on for another one here as well. Let's just headed out in the direction of long grenades, util smokes, smollies, everything really invested by both teams. Both really want to challenge for control of this area of the map, and Ustillo might have gotten a beat here onto APOC Dud, or perhaps it's gone the other way. Still, grenades are coming through. There was a push up on Upper Dark, and Gyra doubles down. So on both sides of the map, Order are winning their fights, and they now have a 4-on-2.
Yeah, Vertex in the middle of the map. They've lost picks on both of those extremities. So they're going to try to go to where they feel it's going to be most safe here. Molotov in towards that CT area. Actually, I think they're trying to make space for PZ to come out, I guess, with that kind of a molly. Next side on the site, though, might just clean them both up. It's a nice flash from Gyra, but PZ straight through it. He finds the timing, and now, actually, Vertex able to put themselves in a 2-on-3 post-plant. Let's see how Order maneuvers themselves and what utility they use to try to come back into the site here.
To have full control of long, but they haven't been able to clear out short, so that's going to be an area that they're concerned about. PZ, talk about taking initiative. There it is. Round is over. Order will only get 10 at the end of the half. I say only, Pilski. 10 is still a very good result, and they'll be happy to get the double digits. But Vertex, at least, have given themselves something to work with. Bit of a back and forth half there between Order and Vertex. 10-5 was the scoreline in the end, Pilski, but overall, you have to say there was definitely some moments there where it looked like Vertex would be able to make it a bit closer than that. There's definitely moments where it looked like Order could actually potentially balloon it out even further. That is not the start that I think Vertex would have been looking for. Apoc Dud is going to try and salvage, but he's been blasted as well. And if that's not the start to the second half that Order wanted, then I don't really know what was. PZ, he's going to try and get anything done with that USP. Emotion is there as well, but he gets his head chopped off through the smoke. I don't even think Vertex really got the opportunity to play that pistol round.
Yeah, they tried to go for a double push into Upper Dark with dualies. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I've seen someone actually try to peek into an angle where someone with one of the more accurate pistols is holding and it go well for you with dualies. I just don't really feel like that's the kind of gun you do that with. Dualies for me are kind of like, I feel like the gun where you're either just strafing out wide and you're spamming, or you're holding like a position that you want to lock down at a close range. So look, we'll see that develop more over time as those dualies have become more cheap, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more dualies on pistol rounds. Creep into lower here. Addict aggressing into the lower tunnels. He has got some backup towards short. 3 players over here for Vertex. Flash over the top blinds them out, and the crab walk from Ustillo. More lobster-like, perhaps.
Well, it works. Vertex are just sort of scrambling to get anywhere at this point. Over toward the A-bomb site. Keep an eye on long. Someone comes back towards mid. You at least can give up some semblance of control over on B and stack the other parts of the map.
Oh, what?
Nice shot from Apoc Dud and a better one from Motion, but still one too many numbers there from Order. Eventually trade it down comfortably.
I just look at him peeking into the Galil angle. I'm like, oh, Tom's dead. Nice knowing ya. But raw adjustment does show pretty nicely. Next site. I mean, that's just another case where you never back brace to hit that shot, but he's done it. In Order, now in a 2-on-1. In theory, losable. You still owe 1 scout hit away from dying, but actually the swap out for the Galil. Hold on.
Ooh, timing doesn't quite favor Brace in the end. Ustillo had it all covered. 12-5 the scoreline now. But it was a close thing.
There was just so much run shooting in that round. There was actually so many duels in that round where I was like, this guy wins 100%, and then he just got absolutely blasted. But after all said and done, pistol, anti-force converted for Order. It's good news. They already had a great CT half. Anybody would take a 10-5 on Dust2 in the current meta. Although, who knows how much these suicide changes are going to change side preference and performance on CT and all those kind of things. I dare say a little bit, but not a whole lot. Plus, you know, how many updates have we seen in CS where they were in theory meant to help the CTs out or help a certain side out and ended up favoring the other side, working the other way around.
Wouldn't be the first time. Certainly seems to have been a good day at the office so far for Order. They're up 12-5. They've got Vertex on an eco.
Yeah.
Should be 13, and it sort of feels quite the cursory finish for Order here if things go to plan.
Yeah, I think these have been pretty straightforward rounds with a couple of outrageous moments, is the way I'd describe it. Order, pretty no-nonsense anti-eco. Then a bit of a mid to B. Just some high percentage utility. Flash over windows and doors. All the I's dotted and T's crossed here for Order.
Still spots quite a few of the CTs out. And he's going to have a few of them headed in his direction, I dare say. Though Valiant's Vexite are finding some kills of their own, which relieves some of that pressure on Ustillo. They haven't seen PZ. That's easy peasy for PZ to just hide in the corner, and he's going to catch Valiant's off. But it's not going to quite go his way. Imagine he had a real gun. Those 2 kills for free for sure. But still 13's up for Order.
All right, not much room for error here for Vertex on this CT side. They're going to go straight into the double AWP, and it's going to be Brace actually on the secondary. I think from what I've seen from motion zorping, I'd probably be throwing in the AWP, but we'll see how it works out. Aggression smoke into long into Vertex. You're going to see both teams fight for it. But unfortunately, Order a little bit quicker on the draw. And these are the nightmare scenarios on the CT side. In a competitive game like this, you're already down 13-5. Oh, it's our first gun round and we've lost 2 picks 10 seconds into the round. Well, guess we might think about saving now.
Oh, I don't know if they're going to be given the opportunity to save. Valiant's in pit already. Still the large majority of the forces over on the A side of the map right now for Order, but they are creeping into mid. Obviously provides options. Options for picks for PZ, but he's lost his teammate over on A and he now needs to go and take up that role. Keeping an eye on what is happening on long. Too many angles to cover, not enough players to do it with. That's the name of the game right now for Vertex. So PZ tries to get some information. It's not going to work for him. Valiance very nearly gets the better of Addict there as well. Really, really nice map from Valiance to start off this series. 28 and 11. We'll have to watch the rest of his lads figure out the rest of round number 13. Bomb plant's going down, so it shouldn't be too big of a concern. Addict a lone ranger at this point in time, and he might just opt to save that M4.
Gonna go try and find the AWP, but he's been hurt by Stillo. I think it's a good timing, and not a single gun taken through for Vertex. I have definitely been there. These are the kind of rounds that sting. You're already down in a game. You're onto that CT side, and the first gun round goes like that. Yeah, it's not a good feels, I'll tell you that. And Vertex, they're going to try to make something happen with the force here. Not even going to take the save. Lost bonus is stacked up enough for them to, look, put some MP9s, FAMAS, Scout, and M4. It's really not a great buy. It could get it done. And let's be real, they need to cut corners if they want to try to win this game.
Oh, Brace, he's just gotten across on the timing. They've got no idea. And Apoc Dud has gone on the push here with him. So Vexite seems like he might be a dead man, though. He seems to be pretty on the ball. Gyra finishes off motion. Apoc Dud gets one tapped by Vexite. And it really all comes down to Brace, doesn't it? How many can he find? Yes, he should get the first one onto Vexite here. But need a little bit more than that. And Ricky, oh, he doesn't quite have it all covered. The AWP shot doesn't connect. Brace will punish him. Gyra's on 13. Ustillo gets dominated. Brace, what is going on?
Yeah, that's probably a round-winning push there. Addict's got the cross here, but with a FAMAS, I mean, he's lucky Gyra's so low, and he's actually able to get both. That was a really nice shot onto Valiance. Just making sure that he's connecting on that head, because if you get into one of those spray battles, FAMAS versus AK, I can tell you that's not going to go so well. And Vertex, they cut the corner, they take the risk, and they're rewarded for it. Started off that round with, what, 2 MP9s, 2 FAMASs and a Scout or something like that, or one FAMAS and 1 M4. And they go into this round with a couple of guns retrieved, full rifles across the board, still rocking the Scout, who is going to, unfortunately, lose that mid-doors battle that we thought wasn't going to be a thing anymore, but is still.
There are some things you can take out of Counter-Strike, but some things are just too important. They have to stay. They have to stick around. That mid-doors battle might be one of them. Still not the greatest of buys for the CT side with a Scout and a Galil to play with. Order can very much still assure themselves a map victory if they win here.
Taking their time. Pretty slow defaulting kind of round out of Order. Seems like it's going to be finished off. Oh my god, Valiance. He's having one of those games.
Yeah, he certainly is. On for the 30 in regulation time. 1 kill away. 3 players still over toward the A bomb site here for Vertex, so that is an area of the map that is well defended.
Just that one pick and him taking long by himself exerts so much pressure. Vertex are in a horrible position. 40 seconds on the clock, and effectively, if they lose short control here, the round's done. So you're going to see some aggression. It was a great timing from Brace. Let's be real. Flash was meant to catch him, but it didn't. And he's able to thread the needle once again. super nicely. That's a couple of great timings so far for Braves. Valiance has not been cleared out though. He cops a scout tag, but he is going to take PZ out of the equation. And actually, it's only Apoc Dud on this A side of the map, all out on an island. And Vertex, it seems like they're expecting a play towards B. 7 seconds on the clock. Vexite going to try to get the bomb down.
They had to use the flash to get across.
Yes, I got it.
Hasn't he? Oh, it's unfortunate. He was so close as well. I actually thought he was going to get there in time. At least, Order gets to take the 3 guns through. So they've got weapons to fight with in this round. A bit of an awkward one.
Yeah, I think one of those situations where you're running down the clock a lot and then something goes wrong fundamentally. In this case, it's Brace going through mid doors and finding 2 picks, and then, you know, it's another one of these rounds where, oh, we got long control. So there's just a lot going on, and these kind of situations often lead to not making a clear, concise call, unfortunately. This time, though, maybe simplified a little bit. Ricky finds the opener, and they're just going to group up and hit the small site.
Addict loses his life, and Order just seemed to go back to, you know, something simple. Let's try to hit the B bomb site. Let's go as a unit, and it's worked out nicely for them. They've traded effectively. Ricky is in a great spot to stop the rotation coming through from PZ and Upper Dark, and Motion's just going to go through the fire. I'm not sure what that was, but it hasn't worked. And now Vertex have a 2-on-4 to deal with. Looks like they'll just try to save the weapons.
I mean, I don't even know like what the upside of that play was, considering what Brace and PZ's positioning was, you know? Like, they were so far back that even if he creates space, just suicide entering like that, like, what happens after that? Like, effectively, he has to jump through a Molotov out window and basically 1v3 people immediately after hitting the ground.
Wouldn't be an easy time, I reckon. 15 up for Order. They've sort of been made to work for it in the last couple of rounds, but they've finally gotten there, and now just 1 round away from confirming Vertex's own map choice as theirs.
Yeah, I think, you know, this game has kind of delivered what we expected from it. We've seen some standout moments from the individuals on Vertex, but outside of that, Order's been the much more well-rounded team. Pushing the lower Dark here for PZ, nets him a freebie on the opener, so maybe there's a little bit more fight left in Vertex.
Oh, Gyra gets the better of PZ, who was trying to pick up the pace. This is just a round called Send It.
Are you sure we're not on Asia already?
Yes, we're definitely
Are we
not.
still watching OCE right now? I can't tell. I honestly can't tell.
Everyone's just running at each other at the moment. Order trying to finish it off maybe a bit too quickly. Vertex have some ideas of their own. Ricky, a couple of wayward shots on that first 2 or 3 bullets means that he can't bring the spray control back on top of his opponent. What's the kill on offer?
Addict here. He's taken up a Dark. That might be the round-winning push.
Gyro's managed to get up onto short, but he'll be spotted out, and Ricky watches him die in front of his eyes, picks up the bomb, has to head into towards the direction of the A site now, and he'll combine forces with Ustillo. Good taps coming through. They've spotted Apoc Dud out, but even still, Apoc Dud surviving and doing damage. How is Apoc Dud able to do that? Ustillo's on 10 HP, and Apoc Dud is not giving him the slimmest of chances of finding a kill.
And that's a round. Brace him with the flank. Vertex. They pick up an 8th and actually kind of put Order's money in a weird situation. So look, there's a chance for them to get 10 here. Not outside the realms of possibility. I think this has just happened so many times though in this game where one thing goes slightly wrong for one of the teams and it's almost like everybody turns a switch and they try to turn things back around on an individual basis rather than regrouping as a team and trying to make something happen. That's what we've seen so far this game.
Attempt at controlling long here from Vertex seems like it'll be reasonably successful. A 3 for 2 trade is not too bad. Still does hang around long enough to grab himself an AK, and Vexite working his way up onto short. Was he spotted out by Addict? Suspect so.
Well, see if Ustilo can do any further damage. No armor for the man, so aim punch is a very real factor. But when he's taking a duel against 2 AWPers, I don't think he needs to be too concerned. Starts to head back in the direction of Addict, though. So he needs to find that clean one tap. Addict zooming straight into uppers. Should hear the footsteps.
Well, he's going to swing around pretty quickly. Ustilo has managed to get past him. So there's a Ustilo's not expecting the push to come from behind. In the end, Addict gets a bit of help from PZ. Another round on the board for VERTEX. They get one step closer.
This is a weird buy from Order. I expected them to have better money than this, but there's really not a whole lot going on here, Jordan. AWP gets dropped over for Ricky. We've got 6 grenades across the whole team here.
It doesn't matter if you just shoot better, Pilski.
Okay. I'll write that one down. I'll chuck it in the strat book.
Put it in the strat book. B-bomb site completely left open by Addict watching through the doors. Brace is in a nice spot to just grab one and fade away to safety through the mid doors as well.
Order's taken this long control, and technically they have exactly enough smokes to smoke cross and exactly enough flashes to chuck a couple of flashes over car and get into a post plant. So maybe that's what they're going to do.
That's not going to leave them much room in the post plant. No
That's
counter
where
util at all.
You go into the strat book, right? We talked about this.
Just shoot them in the head. Set Ricky up on long, maybe. See if he can win it. There's going to be one flash out onto long, so dwindling supply gets a little bit lower. Has allowed Ricky to set himself up in pit. He's keeping an eye on the A-bomb site. Smokes are coming through now on toward that cross. And Order will start to creep their way forward. They've still got one flash left to work with. Is it the God flash from Gyra? Well, it looks pretty good. Forces APOC out off the line. So they'll be able to cross up onto ramp at the very least, though they'll have to deal with that incendiary thrown in from APOC Dud. He drops down and starts to try to take the fight towards Order, which he's done a very good job of. That is bomb dropped in CT. There is no way for Order to get that bomb back unless they just frag out, and they're not currently doing that. Ricky got one. One is not enough. He's got to deal with Addict, and he can't do it. 10 is on the board for VERTEX.
What is going on? The amount of times this game we've seen people just caught with their pants down, knife out, utility out, panicking. Well, I think we're finally starting to see the first exhibit of what will be, I imagine, a common occurrence on this map, which is dropping HEs in CT spawn and trying to deny plants. Or we're an anti-eco, nothing to get excited about. Good shooting on the secondary ult from Race. VERTEX, they're getting into the double digits. They're getting rolling here, but you definitely back order to finally just find the right call, especially with better utilities than we were working with in that last round, and probably move us on to Ancient.
Never say never, Pilski. Favorite of mine. That's my job. I'm the one that's supposed to say this is never happening.
What do you mean? No way.
No way. It's true. Bit of a throwback, but 15-11. I mean, it starts to look doable for VERTEX. You know, dare I say it? Dare I say it starts to look doable for VERTEX? How many rounds they've strung together now on that CT side? They're winning a fair few of them quite cleanly as well. Getting their shots, things are looking pretty good. It's like, what, 3 rounds in a row now, plus... Okay, just one outlier from Order, and then another couple for VERTEX.
I love how many AWPers we've seen counting the cross and not really trying to actually shoot anybody. It's a difficult shot to hit, no doubt. I'm seeing some changing dynamics, and I'm enjoying it. VERTEX, they're being active. Well, this no matter how many changes you get, the creep up on the line with an AWP into upper dark is a timeless classic. And actually, AWPs on both of the extremities here for VERTEX. It's maybe a change up that Order might not be ready for. So Order, well aware they've lost that long control. 1 minute and 10 on the clock. They know they've essentially lost both extremities now. So I'm keen to see what the call is going to be for Order.
I mean, he's still fighting for control of upper dark, and it seems like he's managed to establish at least a degree of confidence in that area of the map for Order. But the primary use of the forces is going to be in toward mid.
Yeah, seems like the response is mid to B. They throw both sides of mid smokes. Utility dump out here for VERTEX. They do not want to let Order out mid doors. APOC are trying to fight for it.
There's not a lot of time here for Order, so this is not bad from VERTEX. It really starts to put that pressure back on the T side. Once these smokes fade, Gyro's going to have to get some work done, and he doesn't expect Addict hiding behind the smoke. A double for him, and PZ and Brace chiming in as well. It is looking very good indeed for VERTEX on this CT side now. There's a nice shot from Ricky. Brace can't quite get his head back down in time. And so he might still be able to find a way to win this round. Needs to get the bomb on the floor. Draws the peek from APOC Dud. And that is the one-on-one duel that Ricky wanted. Has to plant the bomb now. Not sure he's done it in time. So in the end, the round is going to go the way of the CT side. And Ricky goes down to a knife kill from PZ. You could not think of a worse way to die in a situation like that. After time, $450 for Ricky. Dies to a knife.
Is this happening, Jordan?
It might be.
This actually is kind of happening. Not gonna lie. Tactical timeout here for Order. They have been getting disrupted in a lot of these rounds by VERTEX, and it feels like they're trying to run the clock down too much, and it feels like they're trying to either on an individual basis try to win the round, or they're taking a little bit too long trying to find the perfect call rather than just going for a good play, you know? And it's biting them in the butt. They're just running the clock down way too thin on a lot of these rounds. And VERTEX is taking full advantage.
This would be the perfect round for Order. To pick the pace up a little bit, wouldn't it? Tech-9's in hand. They don't have too much armor. They've got a few flashes, bit of util. Could just try and make something happen off a faster play, which is not maybe what VERTEX is expecting.
Yeah, seems like what they're going to go for. Timing play in towards B. Flashbang onto the line.
Ooh, Addict just has to walk away and have faith in Brace's AWP, which proves to be quite fruitful. Already a couple of kills going the way of Brace. The crossfire now established for VERTEX. Makes it almost impossible for Order to get into the site. Well done by VERTEX. They make it look clean. 15-13 now. And only 2 steps away from forcing overtime.
What is this buy from Order that they're putting together? AWP goes back on Ricky. But he has to forego armor to be able to afford utility. Apart from that, buy looking pretty decent. The only big thing is obviously that Ricky has no armor and Valiant has no grenades. What is the play for Order? Seems like a bit more of a defaulty play. They've taken a timeout. They've seen how VERTEX is playing time and time again. Surely they've come up with a call that's going to work here. Does seem like they're putting a premium either on mid to B or short here. VERTEX has been very, very keen on taking fights towards the extremities, dominating that long control, pushing up a dark. But this time, PZ's on the line towards Guardian. He's fallen off the angle. VERTEX anticipating a mid to B, so this is going to be one of those rounds where we're probably going to have a short execute. The CTs will have to play retake. That's where things will have to be on point for VERTEX.
Nice nade.
That was another nade picked up by PZ. He's just cycling nades into short. This is so stupid. That's the 3rd nade that he threw.
It's all right, Pilski. Relax. Take a breath. It's my turn to talk anyway. Order is starting to make their way into the A-bomb side, and Vexite gets helped out by some very nice flashes. That is sharp indeed. Vexite pulls a rabbit out the hat for Order, and that might be what they actually need to win this match, because everything else has been going the way of VERTEX. Vexite, a 3K so far. but Addict is not prepared to let slip control of this map just yet. Finds himself a double, needs the backup from Brace. A 2-on-3, still a tough ask, particularly when Addict is on 7 HP, but if someone could have taken down Ricky, maybe it would have happened. Maybe not, though, is the answer this time.